Hey, welcome to 209coach.com. I want to do a video for you today on Bri Ellis, who was named the 2025 Player Softball America Player of the Year. Now, if you pull up her stats, she did had the most incredible numbers pretty much in the history of softball. She just totally dominated, and I want to show you what she's doing in her swing and help you to hopefully apply what she does to get you to play at a higher level, mechanically speaking. And I want to just kind of break down her swing and let you know what's going on. And I'm going to show you like different videos from different angles to kind of get a different perspective of what she's doing in her swing to hopefully, again, help you to apply what she's doing. Now, the first thing I want to show you here is this. You can see it's very obvious. She's just very relaxed here at the setup. She has her hands between the neck and the deltoid. Now, this is not direct off the side batter's box view, and the way you can tell, you can see here at the bottom where the home plate's like this. So in other words, her hands right now are between her neck and her deltoid, okay? That's real important because what you see at the best players in the world, they have their hands between their neck and their deltoid, and what you're also going to see is you're going to see a lot of flexion in their arms, and that's kind of a cause and effect. If you have your hands between your neck and your deltoid, you will have a lot of flexion in the arms, and that is the beginning of a great setup. You want to be very relaxed at the setup. Another thing you're going to notice here, you're going to see that her bat is lying vertical or vertically right behind her. Now this is kind of just letting it kind of hover over her shoulder. If she had her wrist straight up, her bat would be literally vertical straight up. This is what you want. You don't want your bat leaning towards the field, and you definitely don't want it leaning towards the umpire, okay? So again, you can see here she has a very relaxed setup. And now watch what she does here. When she gets into her gather right here, you can see here she's very, very nicely getting into her back leg. So right now at this stage of the swing right here, she has like 100% of her weight on her back leg. And this is crucial, and this is what you want to do if you want to hit like Bri. Now, she understands that when you become a very good hitter, you have to have your weight on your backside, okay? This is going to help you in many ways. Now, what she does here, and you can see here, pay attention to what's going on right here with her belt, okay? And this is crucial. Again, a lot of players overlook this. A lot of coaches overlook this. Now, you can see right here from her waistline, pretty much is very horizontal. Now, watch what happens as she starts to get into her gather. You can see here that she gets into her gather by lifting her front leg, and you can see here now that her belt buckle went from being horizontal to having almost like a 45-degree angle. Now, if you watch my videos, you will see that this is one of the most common thing that you see, one of the most common moves that you see in elite players from baseball to softball. And the reason I bring this up to you is because when I'm working with students, I don't see enough students when they come to me applying this kind of a move. Again, watch what's going on right here. She pretty much is just very relaxed. And you can also see here, again, pay attention how she's lifting the leg. This helps her to keep balance where she's getting a lot of weight in her back leg. And also, too, her belt buckle goes from facing direct opposite side batter's box view. And you can see here now she starts to kind of do a shift where her belt buckle is facing more towards the catcher. Okay, this is important. It goes from going from here to here. This shows me that she's getting a lot of hip coil, and the way you want to do this is you want to get your back pocket to work towards the pitcher, okay? Your back pocket to work towards the pitcher. Now, again, watch what's going on right here. As she gets into the gather, you can see right here she's not really doing any pullback. All she's basically doing is just getting into that back hip, that back leg, and she just gets into a very comfortable gather. Now, you can see here, again, like I mentioned earlier, this is not direct opposite side batter's box view, but at the gather, her bat is still vertical, okay? In other words, it's not pointing towards the outfield. So this is a very nice gather. You can see here at the gather, she still has flexion in her arms, and this is what you want to have when you are at the gather. You still want to be very, very relaxed at the gather. Now, again, We're seeing here she's at the setup, and like I explained to you, she lifts the front leg. She's getting into that back leg. The back pocket's working towards the pitcher. You can see there's definitely a different angle on her belt line. Goes from being horizontal to being very much more of an upward angle, okay? Now, from here, once she gets to here, watch what she does with her back elbow. Again, her elbows are very relaxed. Her arms are very relaxed. You can see here that now she's getting into pullback where the back elbow starts to work back and behind her. Again, watch what's going on right here. It works back and behind her. Now, you can also see what's going on right here is that she is not lunging, okay? Basically, what she's doing is she's getting into that back hip, that back pocket, okay, that back pocket working towards the pitcher. You can see here she's pretty much just kind of laying or hovering her front leg to toe touch, okay? She's not lunging. Now, pay attention. This is crucial because what you want to do here is get your front leg to work to toe touch, but watch what happens here. Now, she's at toe touch, and pay attention to what's going on right here. When she gets to toe touch right here, pay attention to her hips right here. You will see that there's like a hip thrust right here as she gets into her toe touch, not her heel plant. So you can see, pay attention to her hips right here. See how the hips kind of work forward? Now, when she's doing this, as her hips work forward, you can see here, it's very obvious at this stage of the swing that she has a vertical torso. But watch what happens as she gets into her toe touch. As she gets into that hip thrust, you can see here it's very obvious now that the torso, it went from being vertical to now it starts to get tilted back. Okay, so in other words, her torso does not remain vertical. It starts to tilt back towards the catcher and her hips start to work in this manner. This creates a tremendous thrust from the hips and the torso going back. That along with the pullback I just mentioned, again, pay attention what's going on with the upper body again. The back elbow works back and behind her. When she lands at toe touch, you can see here, like I talk about in my videos all the time, she has a shoulder to elbow look where the shoulder and the top of the back elbow, they're all aligned. And also you're going to see with elite players that the shoulders will be pointing in the direction of the second baseman. What you see in lower level players, the shoulders will be pointing to the pitcher at toe touch, even to the shortstop, okay? You do not want that. So again, watch what she's doing here. You can see here that she gets into this really nice gather. She just covers her front leg forward. And then when she does this, now this is a low pitch, but watch how, because of the pullback, that how her back elbow doesn't slot down very quickly. It remains high. And the way this occurs is by maintaining the pullback. This is the only way that you can get that back elbow to stay back like Bri Ellis, okay? This is why she's such a tremendous hitter. She's not leaking her load. She's allowing that back elbow to stay back even into the hip thrust, even into the torso tilt. And again, she gets a pitch right here. And watch what happens here. She gets into a beautiful, her swing is like a like a Ferris wheel where everything works in a beautiful orbit. Watch, her hands work around the corner of the deltoid. Watch how vertical her bat is right here. Notice this, okay? This is crucial. And even though her bat right now at this stage of the swing is almost completely vertical, notice how her lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth. Now, if you watch my videos, you know that regardless of the pitch, I talk about how the lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth. And the reason why is that way you can go to and through the ball, to and through the ball. Notice how she's extending to and through the ball where her bat remains very vertical to and through the ball. And the only way this can happen is if you let the lead elbow work up to the height of the mouth, which allows you to get to this kind of an extension and your bat will stay in the zone for much longer. Now I'm going to show you a video from a different angle. Now this view right here is more kind of like the backstop view or almost like an umpire's view. Again, just like I just mentioned to you, notice how relaxed her arms are. See how her bat is kind of just leaning on her shoulders. She's just very relaxed at the setup. Look at all the, watch all the flexion in her arms. This is just very elite, very comfortable. This is what you want to do. Now watch what she starts to do here. As she starts to get into her swing, pay attention to her back elbow. You can see here as the pitcher's getting ready, she starts very early and on time. And watch what's going on right here with her back elbow. Again, you can see here she does such a beautiful job of getting that back elbow to work back and behind her as she gets to toe touch. Now right now she's at toe touch, and again you can see it's very obvious she has that shoulder to elbow look, okay? And again it's very obvious that the shoulders are pointing in the direction way over here, in the direction if there was a second baseman right there, okay? So again, this is from a different angle. Pay attention what's going on right here. Again, just like I mentioned earlier, she gets into the apex of her gather right here, and then from here you can see here that she still has a lot of flexion. As she starts to work forward, watch what happens. The back elbow works back and behind her. Notice how the bat goes from being vertical to pointing to the outfield, okay? From being vertical to pointing towards the outfield. Now this is real important here. Notice that her pullback does not occur. Her bat angle does not shift from being vertical to the outfield until she starts to hover her front leg forward, okay? This is very important. Now pay attention to her belt buckle. Notice how it's pointing direct opposite side batter's box view. And you can see right here how it starts to kind of twist where it's pointing more towards the catcher right here. Notice that. Again, the back pocket works towards the pitcher. She starts to work forward. The back elbow works back and behind her. Back and behind her. This is important to understand. Now again, she gets the toe touch. Watch this. You can see here how she gets into that hip thrust with the torso tilt and how the hands work around the corner of the deltoid. And watch what's going on here with her bat. Notice how vertical it is. This is beautiful right here. The bat remains vertical for a long period of time. That way she can hit to and through the ball and get into a beautiful extension. All right, so I'm just going to show you now a back view so you can kind of, again, get it from different angles and give you an appreciation what Bri Ellis is doing. Again, if you apply what she is doing in this video, I promise you, you will have more power. You will be able to hit more doubles, triples, and home run. Now, pay attention what's going on right here. Again, she's set up very beautifully. And again, you can see here with the bat, how just like I mentioned, as you can see it from this angle much better, how it's very vertical right there. And again, like I said at the beginning of the video, as she shifts into her back leg, you can see it's very obvious. She's shifting into that back leg. Now, I tell a lot of my students, let's just start there. That way you eliminate that little extra move. But if this works for you, as long as you get into that back leg, the back hip, where you're coiling that back hip, the back leg, where the back pocket starts to work towards the pitcher. Now, pay attention to her bat. Again, this is crucial. You can see right here at the apex of the gather, okay? And this is so important. You can see here, just like I brought up in the first video, that you can see that everything is pretty much loaded up on her back leg. You can see that her bat is very vertical at this stage of the swing, okay? And it's not until she starts her forward move. Watch her back elbow and her bat, how the back elbow works back and behind her. And you can see here how beautifully she gets into this load right here. Now you can see here as she gets into her swing, how the bat works around the corner of the deltoid, just like she did in the other videos. Now watch that bat speed behind her. The bat speed is behind her because of the pullback, because of the hip thrust, because of the torso tilt. And from here, watch how the lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth. She hits two and through the ball with a beautiful extension. Again, watch what's going on right here. This is just so beautiful right here. This is so elite. Watch how the lead elbow works up to the height of the mouth. She hits two and through the ball, and this ball was just tatered. I mean, you talk about a long ball. This ball was just out of the park by a good 40, 50 feet, okay? Now watch. This is real important to understand too, and I'm going to leave you with this. I talk about not lunging, and if you watch my videos, you know I talk about not lunging. I'm going to show you something right here, and you can kind of just look at what's going on. I'm going to draw a line right here where her helmet is, okay? You can see right here in front of her helmet and where her body is. Now watch what's going on right here. Again, you can see that she's definitely getting into that back leg. She's coiling the back hip, the back leg. Now she gets into that back leg right here. The bat is still vertical, and I drew that line there for a reason. Watch what happens. It looks for, if you don't draw the line, it would look like she's almost lunging forward, but watch what happens. She gets right back where she was at setup right here. If anything, her head now is further behind that line, therefore showing me she's hitting off a back leg, and then from there you can see here how she starts to apply everything I just said. Now this is Bri Ellis, and I'm just telling you right now, this lady, this young lady is something special. I'm talking about something that I have not seen in recent years in NCAA softball and SEC softball. This lady right here, again, she's just amazing. I hope this video has been a good tutorial for you to kind of pick up on what Bri Ellis is doing. Again, 2025 Player of the Year. Just an amazing, amazing player. Thank you for watching. Please give me a like. And also, too, if you would, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Again, Bri Ellis. There she goes.